What did I teach you?
You are the Duke of New York. You're A #1.
I can't hear you.
You are the Duke of New York. You're A #1.
Give me the diagram.
I am the Duke of T.I.M.E, and I've been here for years. From the dawn of time into the times we in. It's time I make it known that once again it's on. That the age of Aquarius has not been born. It's on. And I've been here for years. From the dawn of time into the times we in. It's time I make it known that once again it's on. That the age of Aquarius has not been born. It's on. The people want it. They think I have the answer. Maybe a cure for cancer. But I can never
My boy got whatever you want right here at the Marcus Garvey Center.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Alright. Ashe to the ancestors. Ashe to everybody that we lost in the year leading up to this one. Everybody that we losing this one. Ashe. Ashe to all of the ancestors who, you know, held off the rain for us today. Let's give a big up to them. You know, I say to everybody that's out here that's really working and really doing the work. Let's give it up for Brother King Simon. He's done a lot to get us up here, to make this thing happen. Can we even see this? It's good. I just want to make sure everybody can see. It's kind of, wow, so many people, man. Thanks for coming out. For everybody that's been doing the knowledge to everything that's been out there, you know, there's so many things that are happening, there's so many things that are affecting our everyday, as we all know. One of the big things that happened, what I just did the knowledge to today when I went to the store, is I saw that Hillary Clinton and his daughter just got married. That may not mean nothing significant, but as we get into the lecture, I'm going to show you the science on the bride. Why weddings and things like that are so important, you know what I mean, in an alchemical sense when it comes to initiating intents, you know what I'm saying? Since we've been in Miami, you know, what they call MIA, we've been seeing a lot of different stuff down there. We basically was right there when the whole oil slick thing went down. You know what I'm saying? We was there when we were seeing military helicopters going past towards where the oil slick was, maybe 2 months before the whole shit went down. We was witnessing oil tankers. They was sending oil tankers to that part of the Gulf where we at. Because we're like, the Gulf is over here, where we live is right here. So anything that they pass, they gotta go that way. This image right here is an image of Michelle Obama, if you didn't know. This image, this bust, or this statue of her is in the White House, in the Oval Office right now. Was done by a Caucasian Freemason that's down with a thing called the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. If anybody ever heard of Alex Gray and all that shit, right? No, this is done by a follower, a student of Alex Gray, okay? Who happened to be a so-called Freemason. Now again, this right here though is the doorway to one of the oldest synagogues in Argentina, right? It's called the Lion's Synagogue, is what they refer to it. And everything in front of it got lions with wings on it, okay? Lions with wings on it is a hyperspace symbol. The next slide, bro. So what this presentation basically is, it's called Dark Time Telemetry, a quantum guide to cosmic melanin soul in a proximity to 0 point, okay? Time is an acronym, right, for the inner mind's eye, right, Tahuti, Aset, right, Ma'at, excuse me, and a god from the old Sumerian cosmogony they call Ehud. Right? You don't hear them talking about Ehud so much. Now, what we're basically talking about, essentially, is time as not a tool for you to categorize a day. We're talking about time from the perspective of the infinite amount that you have within the so-called free dome, right? Which is the mind, the pineal gland, pituitary hypothalamus. So what's really happening now is that a lot of quantum physics, a lot of chaos mechanics, a lot of people into cosmic, what they call cosmic molecular melanin, right? Which is basically space, what they call space dust, cosmic atoms, neutrinos, these things called euclids, right? All of these things that were allegedly inert aspects that we would read about in science class that we didn't really understand, what they actually are physical representations of us before we incarnate here. What you're looking at right here is every black woman on the planet. That's what you look like before you incarnate and become physical. This is, according to what the crackers call, they call it dark matter. When we was coming up in the 80s, they was calling it antimatter, right? When we was watching science fiction movies and stuff, they were calling it hyperspace, right? All of these are physical or nomenclatures to recognize and understand who the original woman is and why she's so important. Now the ill thing is that if you was to take a microscope and put a mouse, like a little white mouse's brain under a microscope, it would look like this. The reason why is because mice, what they call the mice are like, they live in the underworld, right? Like there's really nothing that a mouse can't get into. This is why scientists will use white mice when it comes to laboratory experiments. Because basically every experiment they're doing right now is for them to figure out where to go once this reality becomes too confined for them to exist here. And the only thing that's keeping them here is us, okay? Dark matter as a living substance is the ultimate compression, right, of the non-physical aspect of who and what the archetype of the original black woman is.
Yeah, you are now rocking with the best. You are now entering into A-Deuce territory. Comprised of Supernova Slum, Holistic Medicine Man, Aseer the Duke of Tears. Been here for about 1 billion years, but we're about to get right into it right now. So yeah, Supernova Slum, let these niggas know.
Yeah, you have no idea what it took for us to get here. Crown in my center, crown representative. Southside malls up planet Brooklyn. Killing and killing my rhythm is raining. I'm beating you haters is where I'm from. Wait up or 8 us naders, no fakers. Salute us, maneuver us, no sonic women groove us. Who us? Supernova Slum, you can see it's feathers. All in our here, we the warriors men. From the Falcon clan, watch wings expand. Left, right, brain, think about it, come again. Talk, I'm in. Ghost face, gangsta with the goddess by my side. Make the dead come alive. A-Deuce, we the truth. My eye, 4-2, high hair root. G'd up from the feet up, get the stellar to the streets. BPG's up. A-Deuce up. A's up, you know what it is. Mr. Messi, it's 2 kings, 2 guns, 2 minutes with their bad chicks on them space baby. He's up, you know what it is. Mr. Messi, it's 2 kings, 2 guns, 2 minutes with their bad chicks
Well, I would like to introduce myself. Well, my name is Aseer. Cause I'm a Duke of Tears, and I've been here for years. And I'm about to cold rock, cold shock your ears, and make your pain disappear like it wasn't even there. Just listen to my words and apply my loving head, and boom, it's like I'm there, taking away your fear that you thought was out here. It was really in here. Get ferocious like a bear, but I'm gentle like a dove. I always come prepared, cause I come from up above. Duck I love like I'm Morpheus. Live my life notorious, just as big as I can. Control the crowd with my hand, make the dumb understand that it's the Duke of Tears and Mr. Medicine. Turn a whack jam into American bandstand. Have the party people doing handstands in Roseland.
A's up, you know what it is. Mr. Medicine, it's 2 kings, 2 guns, 2 minutes with their bad chicks on them space baby. A's up, you know what it is. Mr. Medicine, it's 2 kings, 2 guns.